Is up, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? Check this out. Beyonce shatters Jay-Z's hit and daughter breaks silence. This video, I don't know. I'm learning. What in the heck? Look, y'all, this joint is 12 hours long. We just break them down. He put all the videos on one. You know, everybody's trying something new. So, long story short, this is video 2 right here. Don't ask me, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Jay-Z, man, I'm hoping that he ain't do nothing he ain't no business doing, and they all rumors. But one little girl pointing him out. His name is in a couple other lawsuits, and he been doing some crooked things. So y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this out.
Why did Beyonce and Jay-Z buy an $88 million home with a mortgage? They're worth $1.8 billion. Like, shouldn't they just pay with cash?
Prices for Beyonce's highly anticipated Cowboy Carter tour are dropping like a lot. Just months ago, a fan could expect to spend up to $800 for a pre-sale ticket to the opening night in the tour in Los Angeles. But hours before the concert, tickets had dipped to as low as $57.
For years, Beyonce moved like a shadow in the business game.
$57.
No messy interviews, no behind-the-scenes slip-ups, just flawless rollouts, stunning visuals, and packed arenas. To the world, it all looked untouchable. But if you peek behind the curtain, cracks in the empire start showing. Some claim she's on another level, while others whisper that her mysterious distance might be the very reason her business moves outside music keep flopping. Because while Beyonce's music legacy is untouchable, her brand beyond the mic has been way messier than fans want to admit. Take House of Derion, for example. Back in 2004, Beyonce and her mom, Tina Knowles, dropped a soulful fashion line named after her grandmother. With Tina's design skills and Beyonce's name shining on the label, it had all the makings of a cultural smash. The rollout came with glossy campaigns, a Bloomingdale's partnership, even Bey herself modeling on sun-kissed beaches. But it tanked, hard. Critics dragged the designs as tacky, saying they didn't match Beyonce's sleek image. Sales nosedived, and instead of fighting to revive it, the brand just slipped away into silence. No statement, no apology, just vanished. And trust, this wasn't some rare misstep. Jump ahead to Ivy Park, her hyped-up activewear line. At first, Beyonce linked with Topshop, but the deal turned ugly fast. Accusations of harassment and discrimination started flying, and Beyonce had to buy out her partner's entire stake just to keep her image clean. From the outside, it looked like a boss move, but behind closed doors, the damage was already done. Then came the Adidas collab. At first, a monster success. The launch had fans crashing online stores, grabbing every drop. But the momentum didn't last. By 2023, sales had completely nosedived. Adidas expected a wild $250 million in revenue, but the line barely pulled in $40 million. Another partnership ended quietly, another mess swept under the rug. So what's the real issue here? Why do her business projects come out blazing hot and then collapse? One word: connection. Or better yet, the lack of it. Beyonce's whole brand runs on mystery. She ghosts the public for months, then drops a surprise album that breaks the internet. That formula works in music. It builds a legend. But business is different. Mystery doesn't sell sneakers or leggings. Fans don't just want a celebrity label. They want to see you rocking it, living it, making it part of your world.
Just because you've amassed a large following or audience does not mean that you have a strong personal brand. In order to have a strong personal brand that you can build ventures off of, you need a really strong connection with your audience. Because at the end of the day, your audience are your consumers. And consumers need to understand how that product or brand aligns with who you are as a person. Beyonce has tried launching ventures in the past, like Ivy Park, and unfortunately, they haven't worked. Beyonce and Jay-Z have been notorious for keeping their lives private, which at the end of the day has benefited them, and I completely understand understand. But don't be surprised when it's time to launch a new brand or product that people can't connect to it because they haven't been able to connect to you personally in years.
Rihanna knows this. Kim Kardashian knows it too. They hop on camera, apply their own products, try on the fits, crack jokes, act real. Beyonce, she launches, then disappears, and fans feel completely shut out. Fans are left feeling like outsiders, and even her perfume empire proves it. Her first fragrance, Heat, exploded onto the scene, racking up over $400 million worldwide and becoming the #1 celeb perfume on the planet. But when the spin-offs dropped, Pulse, Midnight Heat, Heat Rush, it felt like she was just chasing the original success, and the magic faded quick. By 2013, that once high-end perfume was being dumped into clearance bins. That's basically retail's death certificate.
It's Beyonce's natural hair care line, and I feel like a lot of people have failed to connect with why she's even
Her licensing company quietly moved on, and the craziest part, most fans barely even noticed. And it doesn't stop with fashion or fragrance. Her film projects under Parkwood Entertainment told the same messy story. Cadillac Records bombed at the box office, while Obsessed made cash but got roasted by critics. Then came the real curveball, Parkwood's big shift into running a full-blown label. But instead of breaking stars, it just created confusion. Artists weren't getting the spotlight they deserved, and even Chloe Bailey, who had hype for days, watched her debut album flop. The wildest part, Beyonce didn't even promote it, leaving fans stunned and asking why she let her own artist sink. No tweet, no story, not even a repost. That silence spoke louder than words. Now people are asking, does Beyonce really know how to build brands beyond herself? Running a business means showing up, promoting, connecting, and letting people in. But Beyonce's whole image is about keeping people out. And in today's business world, where transparency and relatability run the game, that might be her biggest weakness. When Ivy Park first dropped with Adidas, the streets lit up. It felt like Bey finally had a brand that was sporty, fresh, and modern. The marketing was sleek, the visuals were fire, and fans went into full frenzy mode. For a hot minute, it looked like this was the big turnaround. But as soon as the hype cooled off, the cracks started showing. Adidas had projected sky-high numbers, hundreds of millions in revenue. Instead, they got a flop hidden in plain sight. Stores were overstocked, shelves piled with unsold clothes, and the worst part, fans couldn't even explain what Ivy Park was supposed to be. The branding felt like vibes only, no real meaning. And fashion, it takes way more than just slapping your name on a tag. Branding is storytelling, it's lifestyle. But when the face of the brand barely shows up wearing it or talking about it, fans start feeling like they're walking through a marketing ghost town. No real spark, no heartbeat. Ivy Park had the aesthetic, sure, but none of the emotion. It looked like Beyonce, but it never felt like Beyonce. And that disconnect made the whole thing come off artificial, like a costume instead of a culture. And culture? That's what sells today.
It doesn't do that well. And the core reason behind that is Beyonce has, in a way, made her life so private and herself kind of unreachable that when she puts out a product, it's hard for us to connect to the product because we can't really connect to her as a human. We don't believe that she's using the things that she's selling us. The perfume, House of Derion, even the collaboration with Adidas. You would think that it would go crazy the same way Yeezy did.
The same slip-up hit her wellness collab back in 2015. Beyonce teamed up with a trainer to launch a nutrition program, but it wasn't some light, casual, healthy meal plan. It was extremely low calorie. So low, health experts publicly warned people not to touch it. The backlash was instant. Nutritionists labeled it dangerous, fans called it unrealistic, and critics straight up questioned why Beyonce would put her name on something so extreme. And Bey's response? Silence. No dialogue, no defense. When the heat piled up, the brand just disappeared. Another flop quietly erased. And here's the real pattern. These ventures don't crash because of money or bad design. They crash because they lack soul. Rihanna built Fenty by actually being in it, dropping tutorials, going live, posting raw and unfiltered. She became the face and the hands behind the brand, and that's why fans trust her. Kim Kardashian's Skims works because it feels like an extension of her lifestyle. It's real. It's lived in. She's always in her products, promoting them in casual, everyday ways that feel natural and real. Beyonce, though, she stays floating above it all, regal, iconic, but distant. Nobody truly believes she's spraying her perfume every morning or sweating it out in Ivy Park leggings. It feels staged, like a glossy photo shoot, not a genuine passion.
Yeah.
Then comes Parkwood Entertainment. When Beyonce cut ties with her father and took full control, the world praised it as a boss move. She was running her own empire, rolling out visual albums, curating world tours, and owning her narrative. But when it came to managing others, signing artists, building careers, that empire started showing cracks. Take Chloe Bailey. She had all the makings of a breakout star, talent, looks, momentum. But when her album finally dropped and the numbers fell flat, fans couldn't ignore one thing. Beyonce's presence was missing. No posts, no push, no energy. For an artist signed under your label, that kind of silence cuts deep. Industry insiders began whispering what fans were already tweeting. Parkwood doesn't nurture artists, it copies them. Every act ends up sounding like a watered-down version of Beyonce. The style, the visuals, the sound. It all feels like faint echoes of the Queen instead of a fresh voice of their own. There's no room for originality, just pressure to mirror Beyonce's perfection. But without her fame, platform, or media machine, that pressure turns into a trap. Instead of growing, artists shrink under the weight of expectations. A label should be a launch pad for stars, but Parkwood is starting to look more like a polished holding pen, keeping talent stuck instead of breaking them out. Even Holly, who had crossover buzz thanks to landing huge Hollywood roles, feels stalled when it comes to music. The momentum fizzles, the energy fades, and fans are left asking if signing with Beyonce is more of a curse than a cosign. Beyonce built her legend on being untouchable. That's part of her magic. She doesn't do messy, she doesn't over-explain, she moves in silence, drops masterpieces, and lets the world react. But in the business game, especially in today's era of raw transparency, that same silence doesn't feel magical. It feels like a wall. And when you're trying to sell clothes, music, or even perfume, putting a wall between yourself and your audience is the fastest recipe for disaster. The truth is, Beyonce's brand outside of music doesn't feel lived in. It feels curated, distant, and way above the crowd. That vibe kills on a stadium stage. But when it comes to skincare, fashion, wellness, or anything lifestyle, fans want to feel like they're part of the ride. They crave the Instagram stories, the clumsy bloopers, the "this didn't work for me today" moments. That's what builds loyalty now. Not flawless perfection, but real personality. That's why people look at Rihanna's Fenty or Kim Kardashian's Skims and see more than just products. They see reflections of the women behind them. Rihanna created Fenty to match her own skin tones, demoed products on camera, and even popped up barefaced with no makeup. Kim flipped shapewear into a global flex by actually wearing it under every outfit and showing fans exactly how it worked on her body. That kind of raw accessibility makes the product more than just something you buy. It becomes a piece of the person selling it. With Beyonce, that link is missing. Her silence may create mystery, but it doesn't create trust. And in today's market, that trust is everything. You don't catch her casually rocking Ivy Park at the grocery store. You don't see GRWM clips of her spritzing her latest perfume or showing how she really uses her own skincare. So even the die-hard fans don't build an emotional bond with the products. They admire her, sure, but they don't relate to her. And when it's time to swipe that credit card, admiration alone doesn't always seal the deal. Then there's her rollout strategy. Or honestly, the lack of one. Most of her launches come in with huge cinematic energy and then vanish without a trace. No follow-ups, no behind-the-scenes peaks, no evolving campaigns, just one big drop and a quick fade out. That's not how you build longevity. That's how your stuff ends up on clearance racks. It's almost like she treats business launches the same way she drops albums, massive, mysterious, and out of nowhere. But outside of music, that approach doesn't hit the same. Even Parkwood Entertainment falls into the same trap. Artists are forced into a machine that copies Beyonce's ultra-controlled vibe, but they don't have her star power or pull to keep the momentum alive when their projects finally drop. There's no viral rollout, no meme-worthy buzz, no real authenticity for fans to grab onto. The individuality of her artists gets drowned out, and when projects flop, Beyonce stays silent. No push, no damage control, no second wind. At some point, you gotta wonder, is she spreading herself too thin? Maybe not every icon is built to be a mogul. Beyonce's true gift is performance, vision, and music, not mentorship or branding products beyond her image. Her mystery is part of what made her a legend. But in today's climate, legends can't just stay untouchable. They need to show up. Beyonce's name will always be heavy in the industry. She's a once-in-a-generation talent, no question. But fame alone can't carry a brand forever. At some point, it needs presence, human touch, and raw connection. And right now, her empire isn't shaking because she isn't great. It's shaking because fans can't feel her in it. People don't crave perfection anymore. They want something real. And until Beyonce gives them that, every non-music venture she touches might just keep falling short. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you on the next one.
So basically, what they saying is, Beyonce is doing a lot of fake type things just to get the money and use her name and her fame to sell products that she not really into. So yeah, that's crazy right there. So hey, I'm gonna get on up out of here. I'm getting cold and I'm hungry. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.